Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. Today, as I'm out cruising around in the Toyota Tacoma, the gorgeous electric lime Toyota Tacoma, I got to thinking of all the mods and things I've put on this truck so far. What are the ones that I really use daily? You know, it doesn't make a lot of sense to put a lot of things on, at least in the beginning, that you're rarely going to use, right? Now, I do have several, I guess, probably on the truck that I don't use daily. But here are 5 or maybe 6 of the mods that I've done to the truck that I actually use on a daily basis, that I actually get my money out of. All right, let's start off with number 1. And not all of these have big mechanical purposes, right? Some of them are a little bit passive. Number 1 is the new shift knob. Obviously, every time I get in the truck, I've got to touch this shift knob, right? I love the way that it feels. I love the way that it looks. It does not get exceedingly hot, believe it or not, even though it's primarily black. I think all these electric lime stripes and squiggles in it keep it nice and cool. But every time I get in, I grab this, a very satisfying little mod or accessory. Next up, we have to talk about the screen protect. Now, this, of course, is a passive mod. If you're not familiar with it, it is a film, if you will, that protects the screen. It protects it from scratches, it protects it from fingerprints, and frankly, I love the sheen of it. I love the way that it looks. I've got it on the radio, I've got it right down here on this little piano black piece, which you know inevitably is going to get scratched up. I don't think I've ever seen a Tacoma, even relatively new, that wasn't all scratched up down here. And then, of course, something everybody complains about, mine's a bit dusty right now. Unfortunately, it doesn't get rid of dust, and that is the gauge cluster. I think this is probably one of the number one complaints I hear about the interior of the Tacoma, how much this thing gets scratched up. You know, it gets dust on it, as you may or may not be able to see right now. And of course, we want to whip out whatever piece of material's laying around, whether it's an old nasty rag, or maybe it's a nasty paper towel or something, or a napkin from a restaurant. Reach up here and start wiping around. And of course, when you do that, you've got all these little embedded pieces of potentially sharp dust. That is how it gets all scratched up. You don't have to worry about that with the Screen Protect product. By the way, there is a discount code with a link down below. I'll give you a couple others as we're going along here, that you can pick these up if you want. Pretty darn simple to install. Next up for me, and this is kind of really homemade, it is the phone mount or fold holder, the multi-mount or dash mount, whatever you want to call it. You can get this right down below. It's a piece, and there's different companies that sell these. It does require, of course, drilling holes through the top, but the good thing about it is this piece just pulls right off, the whole trim piece. Then you can do all of it outside, and if you ever decide to remove these holders, you can't see where the holes are underneath. If you're looking like this, and this is right about head height for me, or eye height, actually about right there, you can't see down below the lip in the way that this thing angles down, so you'd never even know it. I've sold a couple of trucks where I had done this and then removed them. It was never brought up that there was any kind of hole or anything down below. Mine, of course, are magnetic. I have a plate on the back of the phone. I just plop the phone up there, and that's it. I can drive around, shoot videos, which is what I primarily use it for, or just store the phone there so that it's not bouncing around or laying around somewhere down here. Love that. I use it every time I get in the truck. Next up, over there on the rear view mirror, or the side mirror, you can see that round mirror. And right now, you might be able to see what I use it for. You see where the tire is down there, up against the landscaping timbers, I guess, that are down there. Every time I park the truck, I look at that to make sure that I know where I'm going to end up so that I don't scratch up the wheels or mar up the tires. The only problem is I don't have one on this side yet. I'll definitely be putting one on this side. One thing that I've noticed, if you go to the drive-thrus, be it a bank, a restaurant, whatever it is, you're always going to turn up against some sort of a curb or something. That is very handy to have over there. I miss not having one. I had it on my last truck. Definitely need to get that on the side. Very helpful when it comes to pulling up next to things that you don't want to run into. I think that's probably the primary reason why you see a lot of wheels and things that have curb rash, is because people can't see like that. Next up, and this one you can't see, but boy does it make a difference. And of course, I am talking about the Pedal Commander. Love that device. Completely transforms the Toyota Tacoma. If you're not familiar with it, and if you watch my videos, my channel, I don't know how you couldn't be. I talk about it all the time. And I talk about it all the time because it does make such a profound difference in the drivability or the driving experience with the Toyota Tacoma. There is a discount down below. It's RobMotive 1. If you go to pedalcommander.com and enter that, you'll save 30 bucks off of it. Awesome device, many different settings. You can find what you want. What it does is eliminate throttle lag so that when you hit the gas, the accelerator, the truck responds and it goes. Now, if you're not into that and maybe you're a hyper miler type, they do have an eco mode where you can select to get better fuel economy. I've even heard people, though, that go with just the regular settings that have seen improved fuel economy up to a couple miles per gallon. I don't know. I think it's awesome. Now, you do have the option. You can mount it somewhere up here. I had my other one in the other truck that had a key over there, actually mounted right here with double-sided tape. This time around, I chose to tuck it up underneath because once you set it, you can forget it. It retains the last setting that you had. If you want to change it, you don't have to crawl under there and dig around and pull it back out. You can use your phone. There's an app that you can connect via Bluetooth and change all the settings and stuff that you want. Awesome device. Now, we do have one more. I'm going to give this one an honorable mention. And this one really is more passive. We kind of have to step outside to take a look at this. I use it every time I drive the truck, and it is the tire setup, the wheels and tires. These are Falcon Wild Peaks. Inside is a Black Rhino Stadium rim or wheel, depending on where you're from. I love these. These are the best tires I've ever had. Very comfortable, yet aggressive as well, both in looks and function. You can see how aggressive they are just by looking at them, but I think the big difference with these is the compound that's used to make them up. I've had Nitto Ridge Grapplers, I've had Duratrax, which Duratrax aren't so bad. The Nitto Ridge Grapplers, that material is so stiff. You can feel it all throughout the truck when you're driving around. Now, don't take my word for it. Look at the comments on some of the videos. I've had other people that have switched that have said the same thing. The Falcon Wild Peaks are the best tires that they've ever had. Anyway, those are just 5, really 6 Toyota Tacoma mods that I actually use daily. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's anything I'm missing that I just have to have in my truck that I'll use every day. I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.